So moved.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. So moved. Approved December 28th, 2023 board minutes.
So moved.
Early on. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. So moved. Should that be-
January 2nd board minutes?
It is, yes.
Okay, yes.
It's right on the minutes.
Yeah, yeah. Same thing. Yeah, approve the January 2nd, 2024 board minutes.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. So moved. Okay. Approve the bills.
So moved.
Second, yeah.
Okay. Ryan, Leon, all in favor of approving bills?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. So moved.
Yep, there's some in there.
I need green like this. Right here.
Pages now. And it looks like social services. And this is
There's just two.
just two. Oh, then there's one from Danielle, yeah, three. Danielle.
Yeah, Danielle for 2273, Lindsay for meal reimbursement for 1045, and Alyssa.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is Danielle, so you're right, it's just two.
Yep.
We got that mixed up. Danny got me mixed up.
So there's 2 meal reimbursements.
And expense sheets. And expenses.
Not unless someone brought some.
Are these full ones?
Those are the bills that are in the packet today. So
Say that again.
those are the bills that are listed in the
Oh,
packet, just
okay.
copies in
Okay.
case there's something to look at. So that's it, it's just a minute.
We have a motion to approve the meal reimbursements.
So moved.
Oh, boy. We have a second. Ryan?
Order it.
That's right.
I'm sorry.
All in favor of approving meal reimbursements? Say aye.
Aye.
Approved, same sign, or opposed, I'm sorry, same sign. So moved.
Yeah, I think he,
Yeah, I told Jamie 9:15.
Yeah.
Now we're free.
Well, I'm speedy. On camera. Okay. I don't have an agenda, so I have no idea how to order either.
Oh, yeah.
I do not.
Okay.
My days are done.
Okay.
Rushmore's.
Rushmore's first.
Rushmore. Okay. We have one quote, and that is from Diamond Mowers in the amount of $21,734. reading this price. Cost of more, 16,500. I don't understand why there's a list price and a different price here. The quote is for $16,500, which is $500 over what we have budgeted, but this is also off the state bid. Only required one. This will be for our skid steer for work on legal ditches mainly. I don't know if Andrea has this set up to have the ditches fund paid for, but this is out of our regular budget, I'm sure.
She budgeted for it.
But it'll get used. Oh, absolutely, very much. So I know you've been adamant about us trying to get one the last 2-3 budget cycles, and this year hopefully it works.
So move.
I will second.
All in favor of the Rushmore quote for $16,500, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. So moved.
Brunson next week. Brunson,
Brunson.
that's next on here.
Joint agreement.
Oh. Doing anything wrong. This is a paperwork formality with the state of Minnesota. You just have to sign into a cooperative agreement that we are going to participate financially in the building of the Lake Brunson State Dam and Bridge and road work. It's one of those things that they have to have in their file stating that we're on board. And pretty much what our responsibility is stating that we are going to facilitate getting the state park road grant monies of $2,261,000, not to exceed that. So.
We got that, don't we, already?
Yes, yes, it's just saying that we're going to hold up our end of the bargain. And when all is said and done, we will take care of the annual inspection. I mean, the bridge is ours to maintain. So it'll be nicer because it will no longer be attached to the dam, it will be separate. So we don't have this, and that's your, and you take care of that, we'll take care of this. With that, I just need the board chair and administrator to sign. We would be good to go. And then, along with that agreement, I need a copy of the minutes. It was either that or write up a board resolution, and well, that basically is a resolution, and it's 8 pages long. I didn't think it was necessary to double up.
Okay.
We'll just get a copy of the minutes.
So we just need to approve and sign it, and
Okay.
we have a motion to approve the Lake Brunson joint agreement.
So moved.
Ryan, second. All in favor?
You were saying something that now we don't have, or the agreement, we check on it, or
We are responsible for the bridge inspection of everything above the substructure.
oh,
So we look at the beams underneath, the concrete deck and the rail. That's all that we inspect.
Superstructure.
Yep. And the substructure, your abutments, your piers, all that is on the backs of the DNR.
That's right. All in favor of approving the joint agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. So moved.
She must have garage door quote.
Yep.
Yep. We only have one quote. It's from PS Garage Doors. They're out of Grand Forks. It's for 316 by 12 doors and the operators. It's for our old shop. It's one of the items we pulled out of the bonding and put in the budget to get taken care of. Quote is for $20,834, of which we have budgeted 24,000. Now, like I said, it's only one quote, it's the only one that we received. I am unsure who maybe asked, but
Those are uninsulated,
uninsulated doors,
new openers.
yes. Openers that are in that old building are, I'm pretty sure they were there when I started, so.
What building is that going?
The old shop that we used for cold storage.
So moved.
I will second that.
Any further discussion?
Keith?
All in favor of approving the garage door
She didn't give
quote
me.
for $20,834,
I'll make copies.
say aye. Opposed, same sign. So moved.
We have I don't know if this was, did you get it in the agenda?
Yes.
Okay. We need approval to hire a Highway Tech 2 person. We had one application, his name was Darvis Russell. He's from Carlsbad, he used to work with Wicktown. We had an interview with him. We're quite excited to have someone with his background of utility work, and he's already acquainted with construction. So I think he's gonna be a really good fit with our department. We've been searching for well over a year, almost two, so. Andrea, I know, talked with you, and I believe sent you an email on Darvis, and Lauren, Personnel Committee. We're asking that you be hired as a Highway Tech 2, B32-3, Step 4, $29.44, of which that fits right within our budget. That's what that position Andrea had in there, as a wage that scale. Commissioner Youngren replied to us that, yeah, this looks like a good fit. We recommend hiring.
So we just need a motion to hire Darvis Russell at B32-3, Step 4, at a rate of $29.44 an hour.
So moved.
Second.
I will second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. So moved.
Wonderful. We'll be starting next Monday.
22nd.
Nice.
Yeah. And he's excited as well, so it's nice to see. What you don't have on your agenda is I just have a few updates. I can fill you in on what's going on at the highway department. Our newest motor grader, 2023 John Deere, it's in Lancaster, it's down. Last week, he was plowing, and it was cold last week. He was turning around at the end of the Township Road driveway in Poppleton Township. And the glass panel on the wing side shattered. So he got back to town. Jason went over with the panel to replace it and find that the newer John Deere's no longer match up with the John Deere's we have on it. So we have to wait for glass. And Jason tried to get laminate glass, which John Deere does not make those panels. They don't have them they have tempered glass.
That's what was in there then?
Yes.
So it shattered.
It shattered. Cold temperatures, he was at the end of this dead end Township Road in a barnyard turning around. So he wasn't moving fast, it's just enough twist and it shattered. So, we'd like to have laminate glass, John Deere does not offer it. So, you know the difference between laminate and tempered glass is like your car window on the side. If they use that little emergency pin and snap it, it's gonna shatter. Your laminate glass is your windshield, that won't shatter. So it's an issue we're gonna have to deal with in the cold temperatures, because it can happen with a stone, it can happen like he did, so. An unfortunate design problem.
But for escaping, it's probably,
It is, but you could do the back window, which isn't gonna hit, you're not gonna get stone at that.
Were you able to find an aftermarket outfit?
Well, Jason looked into even changing the whole door frame, so you could use and not saying you can't do it, but it's almost $7,000 for the frame. It's like, okay, I guess we're just gonna deal with that. So,
Can somebody cut one?
looking into those things, yeah.
They got the spare.
He is in the spare right now, yes. We are down one truck. Our newest snowplow truck, the 2022 Mack, had a code come up that it has a bad turbo underboost, which I think the survey rig had at one time, pumping too much air into the system. The dealership said, take the truck out of service and bring it to Grand Forks and we'll analyze it. So we will be making a trip to Grand Forks. So we're on a 3-truck road right now. Doug Levsky is back from medical leave. He had appendix issues. So he's out in a truck today, seeing how he handles it. Hopefully it goes well. And we have a couple other operators gone. They're on vacation this week, but we have it covered. Dana's up in Humboldt running the motor grader, and Daryl is our emergency backup to run a motor grader. He was out this weekend. All covered, and hopefully this week is supposed to be nicer. We hope. But that is what I have. Just bridge inspections are done. I'm sending out letters to townships now with all their reports, so they have them before their February meetings. Along with their reports, they will be getting the bill this year for the inspection, so we got clearance on that from you back in 2022, that starting in 2023, we would be charging for our services, which isn't much. It ranges anywhere from $90 to $200 per inspection, depending on the type of structure. Which Marshall County didn't have a bridge inspector this year because of retirements or resignations. They had to hire a consultant, and the average price was $1,000 a bridge. So it's a requirement; it has to be done.
yeah, $90 per year price.
It is, and one might say it's maybe too cheap, but we will address that every 3 years when we adjust other equipment rates. Going in, this is what was set in 2022. We'll leave it alone until we do that again. So that's what I have right now.
Just say you did an inspection, or whoever does the inspection, and the bridge collapses tomorrow. Who would be liable?
Who would be
You
like,
know
well,
what?
I guess they'd first turn to us and say, hey, what's going on here?
The
Yeah.
team leaders, yeah.
I just wondered. I just thought of it now. I never thought of it before.
Andrea and Daryl have both taken the team leader bridge inspection course. Andrea could go take her proficiency exam anytime because she's an engineer, which means they take you out to a bridge that's been previously inspected somewhere in the district and give you the blank slate, the list of elements and quantities of those elements. And then you have to inspect the bridge and match within one inspection point of what it actually is. Then you become a team leader. Daryl has to work under me for a few more years. You have to have 4 or 5 years of inspection. We're trying to get Bobby into bridge school, but it took an act of God to get Daryl into it. So we're working on the district and the state to provide more training so we can get more people. We're not the only county that's having trouble. I mean, they're all these classes that they offer hold 24 students and they fill up with MnDOT people. And I think eventually MnDOT would have enough inspectors that they could let the county get in on it, but.
So they have turnover also.
You're right, yeah, exactly.
I suppose those are all offered down in the cities to
Yes,
the training.
yes. We're getting there. We have to do some extra inspecting this year. I told Brian about it at the department head meeting. It has nothing to do with what the job we're doing or what the state is asking. This is all federal requirements now. That any structure that has 48-month inspection cycles, we have to go out and give them statistics. It has nothing to do with bridge safety. But when the feds say you gotta do it, you gotta do it. So we will not pass that on to the townships. We will just go and do it. Because it's, like I said, it has really nothing to do with safety. We will be out doing most of the summer. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you need a copy of that agreement they signed? Okay. And then those two folks.
Yes,
And you have
I've got that.
Darga's stuff.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm just here to give you guys a little update on what's happening in the soil and water. So last week we held our livestock producer supper in Lancaster. We had 35 in attendance. We had Sky in our office speak on the feedlot program. Bonnie from NRCS talked about some program options. Joe and CJ and Representative Burkle all spoke to the crowd and talked about how the feedlot program has turned around in the last couple of years. So that went really good. 1W1P, we're working with producers on projects now that we have our 2024 funding. And we're signing up the producers for cover crops and no-till. So far, since the middle of December, we've had about 16 producers come in to sign up for cover crops and no-till, and then one producer for an egg structural practice. And then we also applied for additional funding for the city of Hallock for the dam project. We had numerous meetings, including the city and our joint powers board, and it was agreed that we're going to cover $55,000 for the stream bank and grade save of the dam and for the modification and enhancements to allow more capacity. The joint powers board agreed not to cover any of the engineering on it. That was just discussion that was had, and we feel like that should be held liable by Houston. So that is, we are just currently waiting to hear back on the funding request. Actually, I think it should be this week we hear if we got accepted for it. So, and then looking ahead at 2024, we have a lot planned. Now with Sky on board, we're doing an egg safety day with Progressive Egg in May, and a strip till cafe chat, and then activities at the school, including Arbor Day and Envirothon. Sky's been doing an awesome job. Her goal is to visit every grade, one way or another at the school. So she's been phenomenal. And then we hope to have a successful busy season with trees. We have ordered the most trees that we have in 7 years. So that's good. We have a couple pretty big plantings coming up. And then we also have a fabric machine that we just ordered. It's not here yet, so we're hoping it's here by busy season, but that's just to help. It's continuous roll along the trees rather than the 3x3s, and just to help with weed control. So we're hoping, being fully staffed, we can crank some projects out and get our busy services back up to where they used to be after a crazy 2 years, or year of just 2 employees. So, and then Joe came along and he wants to visit with you guys.
Well,
First, I guess, I don't know if this is appropriate or not, but thank you for letting me vent. And I'd like to have you just think about this while I'm talking. How do you feel if you were in our spot? What we've been through, I was kind of disappointed. I heard some news here last week that there's, the watershed's gonna get more space and stuff. And kind of feel like, that song goes, they're getting gold line, we're getting shaft. It's kind of been that way. We started talking in 2016 about the need for more space, more programs coming, and get more staff. And being the boiler room is no more functioning in its original state, so would be the perfect fit for us, as some of you know. There's always been one excuse after another. That's how this is me talking. First it was asbestos, and there was no asbestos. Then there's washer dryer for sheriff department, that's gone. And then consultants or engineers, and it just seems like we're kicking the can down the road. And I don't know, do you have to have consultants and engineers when you're doing a remodeling project? That's something that, and then we've had two administrators before the last one, Dylan and Eric, that they come up with different plans, like the driver's license room or the coffee room, different things. But I feel, I guess I've been around for a while, I think we're in a perfect spot in the courthouse with the FSA across, NRCS right, just hand away and stuff. And if we'd had the room, we could have had another employee. The TSA wanted us to house an employee here. We turned them down, so, and we're always, every time you gain something, I feel that it's a plus for everybody, and I don't blame the watershed or the county highway department, whatever. Everybody's got their needs, but we started this in 2016, and we're a little closer today than we were in 2016. That's the part that I'm venting about, and one thing that really bothered me, and had a plan here, that was a year ago or whatever, and everything in that plan that the administrator put out was about highway department. And I get it, they're very important. But then when Jamie questioned on it, he come down and tunnel afterward, and that really disappointed me, because it was something that we've been talking about, seems like forever. So, as a board member, I'm challenging you to come down and look, and if you would sit down in a couple of the workstations and have somebody talking to you and see how that interrupts you when you're trying to do business, let alone, what do you call them, over the room, the Zoom calls and stuff. Then everybody's got to watch that. You don't want somebody walking in the door when you're having one of the calls that interrupts, or how you can hear and stuff. So I really wish you would take some time to think about that, or you can come down. And we have programs where people come in where they got, I'm sure Kathy, your office, where you got to fill out your financial things, like for septic system or whatever. And if you come in there and there's another customer in there, privacy thing kind of gets kaput, so I think that's something that, and there's going to be more and more programs all the time. And we've got stuff stored in about 4 or 5 different places in the courthouse. So, the last 5 years, we brought in, like, for some county projects, some township projects, a lot of residential projects, over $1 million. And then some people come into our office looking for a program, I'm gonna say, and if we don't have it, we just shuffled next door to NRCS probably has some. So I think the financial support to the area is, I think we're doing a pretty good job of it. And we've offered some financial support in renovating the boiler room if we ever get that far, so. I guess with that, you wanna come last, and I'll have your chance.
Joe, I just want to say, we have been working on it. We met down there this summer, looked at their office, looked at the boiler room. We've had Johnson Controls come in there and do their film study. It's in the process. The asbestos was the first to be done. We gotta get going on our bond, get it finished up and decide what we're gonna to do all together. Not only highway department, but courthouse, your office, Jamie. So it's coming together. We are working on it.
And we're aware that you are correct.
We are aware.
It's, I know just going down there, it's tight spaces and
It's not a good working environment, I mean, if somebody sneezes, the other three jump, you know, it is.
There's no privacy.
right.
And the privacy is a big issue that programs, absolutely. And another thing just brought to my attention that they had what was it? The engineer, the tech, Nathan and Jeremy. Kevin and Jeremy. They discussing a project, so you're all on that little counter right front, would be nice to have a bigger table so you could spread stuff out. And then if some customer comes in, they're standing waiting or probably listen to some other thing that doesn't affect them, so. Thank you, I get what you're saying, but this 2016 part.
Yeah.
That's the part that disappoints me.
So just to let you know, for the next 2 weeks, we have workshops for the next 2 Tuesdays. Next work week is with Johnson Controls, that they're going to give us the updates and the costs of all of that. And then the week following is scheduled. These are all subject to change, but the bonding is that, so that we can get the bonding set up. So it is moving forward. It has been a slow process.
And I think what's upsetting Joe is just hearing that the watershed is, coming and looking and almost seemed like they were one step ahead of us. So, I don't know, that's just, no, and I'm not, that,
We haven't even,
I haven't
there's
heard
been
anything.
nothing done there.
Yeah.
With the water, I talked to him last, was that where this started, where I was in the hall? And we were talking about they want to move it. I mean, it's all pending. It's not, they were talking that they're gonna move to the east, because they need another spot. And I said, well, now's the time, since we got Johnson Controls coming and everything, and Lauren was there too, Lauren, well, yeah. It's just talk, I mean, it isn't.
Well, it sounded pretty serious when I bent over at the water fountain and you guys, I heard a little bit. And talk about, well, check in and get an idea from somebody how to do this. Well,
That's Johnson Control, and that's the same with the boiler room. Johnson Controls are the ones that are gonna be doing it, engineering and, so now's the time to do it all.
and we weren't aware of that Johnson Controls was doing anything with the engineering for an addition for us.
Well,
We've
it's the
just been
boiler
told
room.
it's been the
It's-
demolition,
it's the
so,
boiler room.
okay. So that's news to us, so,
I understand, I get that, right?
And the watershed hasn't come to the building committee at all, and has not been in conversation with the building committee. This is the first I heard of it, and I'm on the committee.
It's like we said though, just
Well, what's wrong
everybody
with
get
you?
together
I'm not sure.
and let's do it. I mean,
hearing's bad like mine.
No, we haven't discussed it. That hasn't been brought
Well, it
up
was
at that
discussed
meeting.
that day and my hearing is poor and I heard it, so I thought, what the dickens is going on here? I mean, I go back to 2016, I'm sorry about that, but it's just, and stuff, you all know how the price of everything goes up, If we could have got this done in 2018. But But we just keep, seems like every time we turn around, we're kicking the can down the road, and we got more programs coming in, we could have had another person in the office. Don't know. I mean, if you walk down there, where would we put them?
Hopefully, if this all moves forward and we have to then bring it to the public, that we have those voices, Joe, that says this is something that really needs to be done, that we need to update the courthouse and make more room. So again, it's
It'll all be part of that same vote.
correct.
Want to say my notes?
Yeah, please.
He does, he
Or
does a
just,
very good
or
job.
just, you know, just when people are talking, because I'm sure people will be talking about it, because there'll be a lot of money. And that, you know, that just, we need to update, and we gotta get this house ready for the next century. You know, for, the next 50 years or so that we have, can get it ready for those that follow us.
I agree with you. Like the boiler room down there, when I first heard that, you know, or we were gonna, I maybe even talk to you, we're gonna come in with plasma cutters and we'll cut and throw that crap out, but then they throw another brand, like this asbestos thing now. I never thought, I figured it was something, but
Well, there's no asbestos in there, that's what we're told.
yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be inspected.
No,
I know, I agree with you. It's just, but you gotta, I worked at the bus plant for a while. Quality takes time.
but you're also losing quality.
Yeah. But anyway, we're working on it. That's all I think. And hopefully it's going forward. Sometimes you wonder. but
And sorry, that could bring something into brought up at department head meetings. So maybe that will just be an agenda item going forward. Is where we're at and what's going on. It's taken a long time to get all the pricing and things, but hopefully we'll hear more about that next Tuesday.
Yeah, and that's good to know, because we thought it was just the demolition and then the addition was gonna be on its own. Like, that's how I guess we've always interpreted it, so.
Well, and before all that is the asbestos, and that's, we haven't heard it, what that might cost, and this, with this courthouse, we're suspecting it might be a high price item, so to get rid of this asbestos.
I just maybe it's not people that's long past due, but I just turned 72, I put in 27 years at SWCD, and I think we did a good service to the county, and I hope we're improving, and we're adding stuff and trying to bring in as much as we can. And I guess, you know, I feel we're an important part of the county, maybe not as important as other places, but the money we brought in and service to the people. I guess I'm going back to the 2016 thing. It just, man, very okay with idea or not. I mean, I think it could have been expedited a little bit faster, but that's my opinion. The one time I come to the meeting and the administrator was talking about, the heating system was going all the that was never ever brought up before. You just don't go to hell overnight. I mean, that's important. That's more important. That's the first thing you gotta fix. You can't. Some things you gotta fix right now. I mean, I understand that, but you keep on.
push the can down there.
Yeah, that's my disappointment. So, well, yes, thank you.
I.
What are you smirking at?
Just
For
smiling
the
at you.
guys and Sky did a heck of a job. She explained, you know, about the farmers and feedlot. Make sure you come in and talk to the people.
Yeah, I really do think she did a good job trying
Yes.
to mend what was kind of broken after the last meeting. I ended up at the meeting. It scared a lot of people. And that was, the main thing is that we wanted to make sure people were not scared, because one of the inspections Sky went out to do, the producer thought that it was NPCA coming out and they were doing, you know, suits and telling them that they're doing everything wrong. And that's not what it was. and that's not what it has ever been, so just to repair it.
People get the moronic impression. you know.
Thank you guys.
And thank you for your service.
Yeah, and I think a few of you, they want the research, say what, full consensus, and to me, that put the rest of the time at ease. This is the end of the world. So, I think it's a, yeah, I think it's a good, yeah.
Information. Very good.
Good. Thank you for.
My next. We have that for you. I got a couple things here, that I want to share with you.
Switch sides.
Yeah, well, I figure this is where I'm gonna be here again in a couple weeks. First up, I have a contract with, the, Tri-Valley Transportation for our, volunteer driver program. And so I just, this is where for medical appointments for people who can't get there, that we apply to get, rides set up through Tri-Valley helps us with that program. We're in desperate need of volunteers to be able to get, people, who can't get there themselves. So, if you know of anybody that is willing to give us some time, for this program, it's really important. As a nation, we know that we try to deliver healthcare for everyone and to make sure everybody gets the needed healthcare that they can. It actually saves us money in the long run, if we can get them the healthcare timely. So it's an important program for all of us. Relatives can also, there's some that they can also, the reimbursement and, for their, family members that qualify for the programs.
You use their vehicle or our vehicle?
They use their vehicle. So it isn't a lot, that's for sure. And, sometimes it can be lengthy days for people, but again, it's a real important program for all of us to make sure that people get the health care that they need, so they don't need more expensive health care.
There's Sean with the
With the veterans.
veterans, does he help you along?
And that's just, they just do that.
Just the veterans.
Yeah, if we could find a couple times though, that would be great. So this is just for, 2024, and, I guess it's just for Kids and Family Social Services, so I guess I asked for the authorization to, on behalf of the county, to sign this contract for our volunteer driver services.
We have a motion to do that contract. So, second.
It's just going back and forth.
But I will too, I don't want to leave you out, and you feel hurt.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed, same sign. So moved.
And then I asked Julie to come up, see if I got enough for. This is some commissioners, so. I asked Carrie up, for those of you that maybe don't know, Carrie Judy is our child support officer, and she is also our, we share this position. This has been a one-year position, about 14 months that we've shared the position with Metro County. We decided at that time to split the cost 50/50. And in talking with Chris Priava, who is the social services director, he says, I don't care what it costs, we will go ahead with it. So I said, I couldn't give him the numbers this year because it took so long to get our wages with the unions and things. He said, it doesn't matter, Kathy, just let me know. And I think I can tell you why he said that with as I give you as we go through your handout here. What you have is the federal performance. We get a lot of money from the feds to support these programs. And why this is actually, in some ways, a child protection program too, because it makes sure that kids get the money that they need, that families get the money that they need to raise their kids. I know it can get controversial in families sometimes, but it is something that if the courts have decided this is what families need and that parents need to give for their children, this is what has to be done. And so, and then also it saves money on the social welfare programs too, and people are also then being able to make it on their own and not having to come for assistance. So if you look at it says page 13 on the bottom. I think it's if you flip over, and I think I've highlighted a couple of yellow lines there. And I just wanted to go through the federal performance measures for you. So the paternities established measure for fiscal year 2023, you can see that we're at 102%, almost 103, and then Marshall is at 100%. So what this tells me is that, first of all, how can you be over 100%? But usually those are started in one year and completed in the next year. So that obviously a couple of these were started in 2022 and then completed in 2023, so you get over 100%. But again, what that tells me as director is that what's getting done timely for not only Kitson County, but for Marshall County is Carrie's getting that work done. Oh, I do want to say too that Carrie, as a supervisor, we did hire her as a supervisor for here to help with make sure the programming, but she also does have some supervisees down in Marshall County too that do work under her. So orders established measure, you can see that Kitson County is at 100%, and that's number 1 in the state. And Marshall County is 95.3, that's at number 11 in the state. So again, Carrie's doing, we can tell for both counties, and I think that's up from last year for both of them, that she is establishing her orders as with the court. What happens too is when she goes before, usually it's a magistrate, sometimes it's a judge, but usually it's a child support magistrate. What they tell me is that she makes the county attorney's job very easy because she's always prepared and always, and we have to pay them a little bit to do this, but she does most of the work for them. And I was just talking to Bob Albright last week, and he was saying, well, Carrie, she does a good job for us, And I said, yeah, I know, she does a really good job. Next one, which is probably one of the most important, is collections on current accounts. So that means how well are, for those accounts that that we have that to be collected on, how well are we doing on that? And Carrie is, for Kitson County, is at 85.15%. Again, that's number 1 in the state. And she's doing, Marshall County is at 80%, 80.5, that's number 7 in the state. Collections on arrears, and this is for past dollars that were owed that weren't collected on time, but we still have to try to help families, whoever the applicant is, in the mother or the father, that to help catch up. And we're at 88.7% there. That's number 4 in the state. And Marshall is 77.22. That's number 10 in the state. So cost effectiveness, that looks at what is the cost of our program to what monies that we are, if I get this right, which monies we collect, or is it correct? So the percentage of monies that we collect to our cost. Now,